Hey guys, and welcome to another video. As the title suggests, this is the Dominar 250. It's done about 9,900 kilometers, and we're going to tell you the running cost, the last service cost, something that went wrong with the bike, and also how it has been. Let's get on the bike and do all the talking on the bike, switching it on. The Dominar 250, definitely the best sounding 250cc in its class. There's no doubt about it. Just listen to this. I would have said it's the best sounding bike at that price, but you know, the RS200 comes in. So yeah, I think it's very close, but the RS200 is a racier sound. This is a more commanding sound. But it is heavy, so I'll just try and show you. I'm going to stop the bike here and I'm going to try and back it up. Okay, I'm going to try and back it up. You know, it's quite heavy. Just doing this turn, it's quite heavy. Or if I have to take it in front, it's a heavier motorcycle than it should be for the class. Now again, it is a touring motorcycle, and for touring motorcycles, weight is definitely a plus point more than a negative. Now the handlebar tends to tip into the left hand side. I don't know why, but that's always been there. Even when I first reviewed it, it's not a problem with the motorcycle now. It's always been the case. Suspension very compliant, not too hard, not too soft. Personally, I would not want to use this motorcycle in gullies like this. You know, it's meant for the highway. So if you're going to be riding in smaller roads like this for a large portion of your day, if the large portion of your riding is going to be like this, then maybe the Dominar 400 is not for you, because the weight does get in the way. What is he doing now? And I have reviewed other 250s, including the Gixxer 250, the Pulsar N250, F250. Those are better suited to this kind of a riding situation. You know, smaller roads and stuff. They are punchy too, but they are punchy in their own right. This is like, I think, the punchiest of the lot if you remove the Husqvarna 250s and the Duke 250s. But then every once in a while you get roads which are open, which you can open up the throttle, and the Dominar 250 loves it. It just loves it. The sound of the motor, the way it pulls, it just loves it. And the weight. Now, the weight is a plus point because it's so planted. When you give it, you know, any command, it just goes. The horn is black. Also, a feature that is not really talked about on the Dominar 400 is this seat. Look how wide it is. It's comfortable. It holds you very well. And I think it is a feature that needs to be spoken more about with the Dominar 250 and the 400. You have this engraving over here which looks really, really good. Another special mention is this stand. Look how durable and how thick it is. The Dominar before had a really big stand, and because of the weight it tends to break or bend. They have revisited it and improved the design of the stand on the Dominar 250 and 400. So this is something very important that I've noticed on the Dominar 250 versus the RS200, is that the game that they play with the oil. So the Dominar 250, we all know, is a KTM derived motor. The engine on the RS200, we all know, is a KTM derived motor. So they're very similar from that point of view. This is a 250, that is a 200. Bajaj uses fully synthetic oil on the Dominar 250. Bajaj's own fully synthetic oil on the 250, but on the RS200 they use semi-synthetic oil. I don't understand why. So coming back to the problem, my mechanic tells me that when the bike fell down, accelerator cable got detached and it was caught in a very awkward position, which is why it was automatically revving the motorcycle without the user actually giving any input. So you can see in this video how that problem was rectified. It's a relatively simple problem to rectify. Even I thought that it was some throttle body issue, maybe the throttle body is cracked or the cable was broken or something, but it's a relatively simple problem. So as you can see, this is the bill of the Dominar 250 fourth service, which is a paid service. You can see the cost of the oil. It's quite a lot, but if you notice, it is a fully synthetic oil, and even the oil capacity is more than what goes on RS200. Also, if you look at the brakes, you'll see the word KTM written over there, because the brakes on the Dominar 250 have been taken from the Duke 200 or the Duke 250, but they are basically KTM inspired, KTM based brakes, and therefore the pads are also slightly different, and all of these small things lead to a higher service cost of the Dominar 250 compared to something like the RS200, which is also a sporty KTM inspired motorcycle, but not. You can see that Bajaj has created a partition between the two. The Dominar family is more heavily inspired by the KTM family. The Pulsars are still pretty much lower in service cost price. So one of the things that the Dominar 250 and 400 suffer from is this thing. So you can see the mudguard is only till here, and this is completely open. So what happens is you end up having a lot of dirt here and hitting your shock absorber, which can be very difficult to remove. This doesn't happen on the RS200. Also, these mirrors are very, very hard to turn with one hand. You probably need two hands to do it. The owner has told me about this, and yeah, even I feel like they're very hard to turn. After 9,000 kilometers, you can see that this part, this is the tank guard, and it is beginning to show its age. But the job of the tank guard is to do exactly this, so that your belt buckle or any kind of metal doesn't hit this part. So I think it's doing its job, and overall build quality, fit and finish is just up to the mark when you spend that amount of money. So this is what the Dominar 250 sounds like. So if your commute has a lot of highway work, high speeds, 80-90 kilometers per hour, wide roads, a lot of wind blast areas, then the Dominar 250 is just the right motorcycle for you. But if it has smaller roads, small lanes, then maybe you will find this bike a little too heavy. Then that's when you consider something like a Gixxer, a Duke 250, the Pulsar N250, F250, or the FZ25, because those are lighter 250s. This is a heavy 250, and the best qualities about this motorcycle will come in when you actually take it on the highway. It's very, very comfortable even for the city, but the engine is going to run hot. It will give you a lower fuel efficiency if you ride it in the city. So that's just a negative part of being such a heavy motorcycle. But being a heavy motorcycle also has good points which actually come out when you're on the highway. So that is all for this video, guys. I will see you all in the next one. If you'll have any questions about the Dominar 250, I'll be happy to answer them. I've spent a fair bit of time with the motorcycle, also my cousin. I'll try to get him in for the owner's review and what's good, what's not good. That'll be a longer video with the Dominar 250. Till then, like, share, subscribe, always wear your helmet, and I'll see you in the next one. Ride safe, ride hard.